Mike's Browns going
Mike's
down
Browns.
to
Big time.
going down to the quarter to face those New Orleans Saints in the Superdome.
Yeah.
The Jameis Winston return game. What do we think? What are our thoughts on the Browns in this
Draft
game?
implications on the line.
Draft implications are on the line. Yep. This is going to be a very interesting game. I think a lot of the issues with the Saints offense go far beyond Derek Carr, and a lot of the issues with the Browns defense go far beyond our inability to get pressure outside of Myles Garrett. I think one bright spot that I like about this is going to be that the Saints just got rid of Marshawn Lattimore, and that's kind of to me, a bit of a white flag move for this team. Obviously, they beat the Falcons last week and kind of just what was just a mucked up, divisional game. Marquez Valdez-Scantling scored 2 touchdowns on like 3 catches for 100-something yards. I mean, just 2 bombs. But you got to look at the injuries that they have at this point. I mean, Lord knows what's going to happen with Kamara. I think he's a little bit banged up. We know that Olave is, I believe, out for the year, if not out for a hot minute for now. He's out for the year, yeah. So, I mean, that leaves them with Bub Memes. Rashid Shaheed's been out. And then who's that guy I picked up in fantasy? Turtle Tipton. Yeah, I mean they're Mason Tipton. I mean he's making his way into the depth chart.
I think he went to Princeton. That should say a lot about who he is as a player.
He's making his way into the depth chart. Do I think that Taysom Hill is gonna
smart? Yeah, sure, smart.
Yeah, no, I mean, but do I think Taysom Hill is gonna put together enough put together 2 or 3 gadget plays that are going to kill the Browns on defense? No. I still think this defense is the pride of this team. I love the under in this game. I mean, it's 44.5. The Browns haven't put up over 20 all year. And I anticipate them, to get pressure on Derek Carr. Maybe I think Alvin Kamara is banged up going into this game as well. They have lost all their depth on the running side of the ball. They have questions on the offensive line. Of course, this is the spread is Saints -1 because no one wants to pick this game. But I anticipate just 2 offenses that are going to struggle to move the ball. Maybe a couple bomb plays from Jameis, but also in those bomb plays, that's where the mistakes have come from. And we've seen Jameis turn back into a pumpkin of just forcing the ball. I think going back home, going to New Orleans, a place where he really did feel like he was home, there's probably going to be a lot of jitterbugs going on. I anticipate an ugly game. I'm going to take the Browns to win just because I have to, but just go with the under, plug your nose, and just hope they don't spend too much time in this game in red zone. But shout out to Cedric Tillman. He has been an emerging superstar for this offense for years to come. And I think he's going to be someone with competent quarterback play. And Jameis Winston, there's one thing he knows how to do. He knows how to sling it to the one guy.
Superstar's a stretch, bro.
Yeah.
No, it's not a stretch, Christian. It's not a stretch. He just had 10 targets last game. The guy is I should have said focal point, not superstar. I should have said focal point. The guy who, because we have no one else to get the ball to, is going to get it. I do like what I've seen with Nick Chubb getting reintegrated back into the offense, though. I mean, it's been encouraging to see, and he actually has broken off a couple of runs where he kind of looks like old Nick Chubb. Give me the Browns here. Give me a mucked up game. If you're going to take a point total, I mean, maybe play it to 45 and play the under. I don't see either of these teams getting to 20 points. I think whoever does get to 20 points wins this decisively, is what I'll say about this game. going to be. I also think, and this is how gross I think the game is going to be. Special teams is going to be what makes or breaks it, because the Browns have gotten absolutely burned at times on punt returns and just giving teams completely good field position when we can't move the ball down the field. And we're just gonna. It's whose defense is going to be out there for the least amount of time is going to win this game.
I like I'm with you on the under, but I feel like the Browns gave up so many big plays off coverage busts to the Chargers. And at least we saw through last week that with Marquez Valdes-Scantling, the Saints can take advantage of that. I think their offense is flying a tad under the radar. I know their receivers are, like we aforementioned, Mason Tipton and Valdes-Scantling and Bub Means. But maybe they can have a little bit of success here. I wouldn't be surprised that, I'm with you on the under, Mike. I think both these offenses could struggle, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's just both these teams just go complete chaos haywire mode, and all of a sudden, Bub Means catches a 40-yard touchdown, and then Jameis comes back and throws an absolute nuke to Elijah Moore or something weird. This is going to be a weird game. This is going to be a very weird game that I could see weird stuff happening. Turnovers, short fields, I could easily see that happening too. But look, I don't know, Mike, if you saw the stuff about Jedrick Wills just going to the bench and DeJuan Jones getting moved to left tackle. I feel like the Browns do have some questions in the offensive line that probably need to get answered. And I don't know if the Saints are the team to expose that. But either way, you're probably still in draft watching mode at this point, as are the Saints. And yeah, I think there's going to be some players on this field this week for these teams that try hard. But I think both these teams have officially kind of mailed it in on the year, which makes me think that I'm not going to take a side on this one. And I'm just going to watch whatever disaster unfolds.
Jedrick Wills makes me want to go full Dom LaGreca on this thing. Like the whole I would cut his fat, making a business decision to sit with the knee is, I get it, but you can't do it, especially with what they're paying him, especially with the position that they've put him in. They're looking to move DeJuan Jones into his spot over at left tackle. It's just, as I've said, probably I think starting about week 3, when we were dealing with Deshaun Watson, there's a dejectedness, and the problem isn't Kevin Stefanski, but at a certain point, are these guys going to continue to want to keep giving 100% effort for him? And it's not looking like that. As I said, the one inspired part of the football team, which has been for years, has been the defense. But they're out there for so long that the effort starts to lag. You start getting questions about Jim Schwartz because he's not able to do what he was brought there to do, which was just blitz everyone from having such a solid defensive line. And we traded to Darius Smith. There's going to be questions on the defensive line going forward. I don't think it behooves us at all to win this game. And honestly, I think if you will pick a side, I think leaning, with a Saints team with a new head coach who kind of got a shot in the arm last week. I don't think anyone really expected them to beat. I didn't expect them to beat the Falcons, and they showed up on both sides of the ball. So this could just
Derek
be
Carr being back. As much as I hate him,
it could help.
He's at least an upgrade over whatever Spencer Rattler was. And,
it could help, and we saw them. They shut down Kirk Cousins. They did get gashed against the run, which is why I think, this could be old school Browns where they lean on the run game, lean on guys like Jerome Ford. Maybe we see a little bit more Nick Chubb getting involved, and that's where we're able to move the ball to maybe open it up for guys like Cedric Tillman and David Njoku. But it's we're going to have to step up on the defensive side of the ball to even have a chance to win this game against what I think is a now more inspired playing football team at 3-7 rather than 2-7 with the Browns. with the
Yeah,
Saints.
that's kind of where it comes down to me and Mike and other, the other guys. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but do you think that the Browns kind of got their shot in the arm already with the Deshaun Watson injury, and they kind of that juice got used up for a divisional game against the Ravens, and then you go and play the Chargers and get shellacked by the Chargers, and I don't know. I don't feel like that they're probably like a team that seems like they're fully bought in their bye week preparing for the Saints. Like I don't know if the bye week is like beneficial to a team like that. That seems like we've got tackles making business decisions to not play. We've got a defense that makes coverage bust and kind of playing some uninspired football again. I don't know if things get better for the Browns coming out of the bye necessarily, just from a focus perspective, and I think the Saints might still at least have a little bit more juice with their coach firing left to go and maybe try to win a game that in quite honesty doesn't that each team would probably rather lose. So I don't know. That's just I think the Saints just seem like they probably are playing a little bit more inspired football at this point, and I don't know if the Browns players may have spent the bye week partying. To be quite honest with you, I probably would if I was on the Browns, because this season kind of seems like it's in the trash after that Chargers game.
Yeah, I mean that same bump that they got was the same week I think Nick Chubb came back. So yeah, I don't think there's any more bump left for Cleveland. I really just wanted to spend time when we talked about the Browns, just shout out Joel Bitonio. He could very well be an All-Pro. He's been one of the few bright spots on this offense. Solid left guard.
I wish the Texans traded for him.
Yeah.
Or the Bears even. Send draft capital to the moon.
But yeah, shout him out and hope JOK gets healthy. I hope that's a neck injury, serious neck injury. So
yeah,
hope he gets back healthy. Hopefully he can finish the season out.
I
got New Orleans. New Orleans is going to win, by the way. Yeah,
Christian, and that was you stole my thunder on the pick, because I'm telling you what, when you've got a game, and Turtle said it, where both teams might want to lose, you can count on one thing: Derek Carr to win that game for the team that he's playing for. Be able to get that win that's unnecessary, that he won't be around for when that draft pick matters. But damn if he isn't going to drive it down the draft board.
He's the Lovie Smith of quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.